A Devon comedian who received a standing ovation from the judges and audience of Britain's Got Talent has said the experience was just brilliant. Chris Leworthy, 32, is a graphic designer from North Molton who has been pursuing the sideline of one-liner and prop comedy since 2015. He took the Britain's Got Talent judges and crowd of a packed London Palladium by storm during his audition for the ITV series, which was screened on Saturday evening. His performance was so well received he gained 3 S's for his fast-paced succession of gags. Judge David Williams came backstage to shake his hand after his appearance on stage, and he even got a hug from Amanda Holden, who was clearly impressed with his comic credentials. But there was one judge that eluded Chris. He said, "Simon Cowell wasn't there to see my performance, he turned up just as I walked off stage, gutted." However, as a comedian, David Williams is definitely the one judge you want to impress. Just 3 years ago, Chris was plying his comedic trade at various musical open mic nights in Exeter, mainly because he didn't know where else he could perform. But last year he won the Stand Up for Cider open mic comedy competition, the prize for which was performing on the same bill as previous BGT contestant Deliso Chaponda at the 300-seater Macmillan Theatre in Bridgewater. Until his BGT audition at the London Palladium, that was the biggest venue at which Chris had performed. He said, "The audition actually happened in February and every joke just seemed to land, you couldn't ask for much more. I've just finished reading a book called The Amazing Basement. It's a bestseller. I entered my wife in a Chinese burn competition, she didn't want to do it but eventually I twisted her arm. I injured myself on Dad's record collection last night. A Madness album fell off the shelf and hit me on the head. I've got the Scott to prove it." At the end the judges stood up and then the crowd stood up, a standing ovation at the London Palladium. It was just brilliant. Chris' fate now rests in the hands of the 4 judges, Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, David Williams and Alicia Dixon, who will decide who goes through to the final auditions. Chris says he already has his material lined up if he is chosen. He said, "I set myself a target to write 5 jokes a day. Then I post them on Twitter, which allows you to get an almost instant critique of your work." Chris Leworthy with ITV presenter Stephen Mulhern, "I'll be going through and seeing which ones have been most popular. There is another string to Chris' bow that he may well pull out for the finals too." He said, "I usually start my performances with a song, so I'll be working on something musical for the next stage, if I get through. This is all very different to playing in a cafe in Taunton to 6 people, which I was doing just last week." Chris Leworthy, "I'm definitely a little bit nervous." Chris hopes to find out if he's made the finals by the end of May. There was also great feedback to his performance on social media. For more about Chris and his comedy, check out his Facebook page.